Howdy. Welcome back to One Rental at a Time. I am here with Cameron, same name as my son, Cameron, spelled differently, uh, at the One Rental at a Time event in Las Vegas in 2026. The idea with this video is what happened last year, what's going to happen next year. We want to take a picture of today. So, Cameron, I'll start with where do you live and where do you invest?
Yeah, so I currently reside in outskirts of Sacramento, California. I do have two properties there, 3 units, one of which is shared with my sister, and I'm planning to invest on the outskirts of Indianapolis in Indiana.
Okay, that sounds like a real place.
Yep,
Nice. So, investing in California a little bit, realizing, okay, I might go to a new market.
100%.
Okay, cool. A lot of
Yep.
people do that. I like the idea of house hacking in a high cost of living area
Hmm.
because it's more impactful. So
Sure.
it's really important.
Yeah, I've definitely heard your position on it, and I think for me, the for me, we one was an inherited property, and then my other one was a property that turned into a rental from being a primary. And so that's where trying to figure out how we would position ourselves in order to continue there is tough.
Yeah, no kidding. And that's not an easy market there.
No, no.
What were you doing investment wise and real estate wise before you found one rental at a time?
I was trying to convince my dad to buy a 12-plex and kind of just throwing mud at a wall and seeing what stuck. So I was very curious in real estate and creative financing, and I had no clue what I wanted to do. And now that I found one rental at a
Okay.
time, I feel like it's a focused effort, right? And we're aligned with people that are like-minded. So it makes it feel like I'm not alone, which is very nice.
That's the power of the community like this.
100%.
So in all of the one rental at a time videos or any of the other channels that you watch on YouTube,
Mhm.
is there a video or some lesson that you saw that seems to have the biggest impact on you?
I think just hearing the personal journeys from each of you guys and then hearing the personal journeys of other people within the community tends to have the greatest impact on me. And then I would say that as much as those are personal to me, the other one that has a really good impact to me is teaching people about lumberjack landlord's 4-3-2-1 method.
Yeah.
I've been in Ubers, I've been at casinos, and I have literally shown dealers this is how I do it if I was to get started right now.
The highest form of learning is teaching. And if you go to explain that to somebody or any concept in real estate or investing, and you try to explain it to somebody and you realize what your memory gaps are, you'll
Hmm.
know to go take in that information. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think like the best service we can give people is like as much as we want to give knowledge, sometimes we don't need to recreate the wheel.
Right.
And so it's like, let's value your time, let's value my time. And so I'm going to go ahead and just share with you how I'd like it to be interpreted. And if you want to learn more, this is where I'd go.
So now that you came last year,
Hmm.
and did you come the year
I
before?
did not.
Okay, so we took an Uber together last year.
Yes, we
Yep,
did.
yep.
Yep.
And I probably gave you the plague. So
We
sickly.
were worried about
So,
it.
uh, what is something you think you do now that you would have never considered before finding one rental at a time?
Well, I will say the biggest thing is I am now self-managing. Um, I I've been in Zuber's course. Me and my late father were the ones that found one rental at a time together. And then I was like, I really don't think I'm ever gonna want to self-manage. And let's just say there was enough errors and enough fire under me to allow me to branch out. And I took the leap in December, and it was by far the best decision I made. And as I like to tell people, hiring a PM was a $10,000 mistake I will never do again. And I can actually show those figures of where it
We
was.
we
So,
call that the idiot tax that we all pay in the beginning,
yeah,
whether it's your property
absolutely.
manager or no lease or renting to friends or family too soon or
Yeah,
whatever it is, we all make those mistakes.
but I wasn't gonna make that because I'm perfect.
Of course. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
I can
I
tell.
made it anyway.
I mean,
Yeah.
you spelt your name.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And then the other leap I made that I do want to share on a off real estate side is I actually had a construction company that I was starting with a buddy of mine. You know how those go, and I actually ended up losing about $80,000 on that. And there was a guy here named Jim who owns a construction company,
Mhm.
and he looked at me and he says, based off your skill set and me knowing you, I think you should close that down and focus on this.
Okay.
And that I took it to heart and I called him a couple months later and I said, Jim, thank you. Like that really meant a lot that you were willing to like go make me feel a little uncomfortable, push me back. But it actually helped me grow quite a bit.
I
So
think I think sometimes the people that we talk to in one rental at a time, it's those conversations that matter because everyone can be your cheerleader.
100%.
Right, you've got this, no problem. It's super easy, right? That the phrase that we hear with sometimes
Oh
with
yeah.
just rentals.
You guys are so lucky.
You're so lucky. Yes. But to have somebody go, right. I mean, like for me, for instance, we could do short-term rentals.
Mhm.
We'd make more money
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
for more work and more opportunity for mistake. And so, but for somebody else, it is their best strategy.
Yeah,
So,
and that's on the middle of the scale of entrepreneurship. So,
so if you never found one rental at a time
mm.
or bigger pockets or any of the
hmm
podcasts that you watch here, what do you think your life would look like?
I think I'd still own rentals, but I think I'd be a fed up, frustrated landlord who'd be looking for the next thing. I've always, I think one of my good attributes is I've always seeked mentorship in areas that I'm not comfortable in. I just think the time of finding that education and getting there would have been much greater. So I think just like anything, going to school, right? You learn to memorize stuff, but actually doing something, actually taking action, that's a lot more. And so you're with people that have already taken the action multiple times. And you go, okay, if you're in my shoes, what would you do? And so I think that this really compressed that for me.
Okay.
And I went from 5 to 10 year time horizon down to I'm only a year and a half in.
Okay.
So like that it's a huge gap saver for me.
Right.
So
And hopefully mistake saver too. We point out our mistakes often,
yeah,
hoping to get other people to try to miss those too.
yeah, absolutely.
And so the final question, and this is really for Michael Zuber.
hmm
If you were in a room alone with Zuber and no one can hear you,
hmm
and he asked you, give me some feedback on the one rental at a time community and events like this one here at the Center for the Blind in Las Vegas this year.
I think the feedback I'd give him is to take a step back and remember why he started it and to see how far it's come. Because as as much as we all like to set that next goal and hit that next number and achieve, the new cash flow or the next unit count, the reality is we do this for the people and the impact. And I don't want to get emotional, but I can say I don't think he realizes how great of an impact he has and how great it continues to be. And I fear the day that he might change that. And so I think he just needs to continue it.
I agree. I wasn't frustrated,
Hmm.
just sad when
Yeah.
he went from 7 days a week, daily updates down to 5. Like
Yeah.
I wake up Fridays going, oh, there's maybe a Zuber today with his wrap up, but usually not.
Right.
Um, so there you have it. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yep.